What's up, gang? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Janine. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If this is your first time, make sure you lock into my channel by clicking on that subscribe button and also click on that notification bell. That way you never miss an episode or anything that I do here. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, I do appreciate you so much. As I told you guys in the last video, I am officially monetized now, so make sure that you watch the ad for me. Like, it just take a few seconds of your time. I ain't asking for too much. I'm giving you this word from the Lord, so please go ahead and make sure you do that for me. I do appreciate you. Today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the importance of growth. So if you're interested in hearing more about that topic, make sure you stick around until the end of the video. Let's go ahead and hop into it.
I look like money, grab the camera, I'll say cheese. What am I supposed to do? When my life look like my pictures do. What? He still ain't posted you. Come let me show you what you supposed to do. Go, bounce up on that dude. Go show these niggas they can't F with you. Look what you made me do. I gotta show you how real I'm. I've been loyal to myself. I don't need nobody else. Don't nobody understand me. Can't count.
Now, I know in our society, people normalize being young forever. They love when an older person has a younger look. We categorize people based off their looks. We try to determine their age based off their looks, when it's nearly impossible, really, because people look different. Everybody looks differently, ages differently. People are just different. People just normalize this almost like Peter Pan syndrome. They just want to be young forever. And I want to let you know that it is okay to grow up. I promise you, like, it is okay, because that's what we are brought here to do. We are brought here to grow, to evolve, to transform. And it's dangerous to want to be young forever. Wanting to be young forever does keep you in a lot of toxic cycles and habits, whereas if you truly thought about wanting to grow up and elevate and evolve, you know that you have to stop the things that you did as a child. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about, when I was a child, I did childish things, but when I grew up and became a man or woman, I had to put those things away. And it's very prophetic, I want to say. It's very prophetic to life today, because, at some point we have to take the wheel of our life and drive down the road that we want to go on. Now, I don't know how many women that I've met in my life who are afraid to tell me their age, or anybody in general. They're afraid to say their age, or they stop saying their age, or they lie about their age, and men too, but it's more scarce in men. But you meet people all the time who, lie about their age because the number is so big to them that they think that people are going to judge them based off that number. But I want to let you know, like, a part of growing up is, first of all, coming into acceptance with how old you are, what your age is. There's a reason that you were born before a person or after a person or on the day that you were born. God needed you here at that appointment. God needed you here at that appointed time. So you can't harp too much on getting older, because it has to happen. It has to happen. Being 29 in this mature mindset, I feel so disconnected from my peers, because it's like I can only ever relate to an older person. I can only ever have a conversation with an older person. But recently I found myself encountering younger people and realizing that your growth can happen at any time. It's not a specific age that you need to grow up at. You understand? It's not like, oh, I'm 30 now, let me stop going to the club every night. Oh, I'm 30 now, let me stop, being petty on Facebook, being petty on Instagram, sub-tweeting, sub-posting people. Let me stop, slashing tires when I'm upset and stuff like that. There's no specific age that stuff needs to stop. It just needs to stop. You need to wake up one day and choose to grow up. Every decision you make should be an intentional one. So you have to think of it like that. Like, every decision you make, you have to think, is it going to take me to my end goal, where I want to end up at in the future? Because we're not thinking these things through. I find myself lately, because of my job, having to encounter people of all different ages, and 9 times out of 10, somebody's telling me how young I look and how I look like 23. I haven't even gotten 19, and it's really alarming to me, because why are you trying to talk to me at that young age? I'm not even understanding. You know what? Let me not say that, because let me not say that. But if you did think I was that young, why are you trying to approach me like you're up in age? But I realized this, people are people, right? Maturity can come in younger packages as well as older packages, and vice versa. Like immaturity can come in older packages as opposed to younger packages. So we have to judge people by the fruits that they give to us. Cherries. We still talking about fruit today. I'm on my cherry vibes. But we have to judge people off their fruits. We can't judge people based off a number that society makes us think is relevant to what we have going on today. You can make it anytime. You can't give up because you're up in age. I need you to understand your life can change any day. Your age is just a number. So when people say you're too old to do something, don't listen to them. Your age is a number. How grown are you? What does your growth look like? You know, people go through great lengths to prove that they are young for some reason. People glorify just being super young. People just think being young is the most awesome thing on earth. And I mean, yeah, it means you have more time, but do you really have more time? We see people all the time die at these early ages, you know, from children, from teens, young adults. Like we see people die at early ages all the time. So is youth really the best thing since sliced bread, right? Or is it growth? You should want to be a role model, not only for those that encounter you on a daily basis, but for those who are going to encounter you in the future. You don't want to glorify childishness, glorify youthfulness in childish packages, you understand, as opposed to glorifying growth. I can't put an age limit on when you should do certain things because everybody has their own path. Other people are afforded opportunities that some people may not have. And, you know, people get opportunities at different stages in their life. You know, you see a lot of people, especially on social media, and they are looking super young, or it's a young person looking super old. I don't know why we always want to switch places with those. Like, we always want to either relive our glory days or we want to get to these glory days that we think are in the future instead of being present in the moment. You know, the desire to be young forever, I understand that. You know, I can understand how you will want more time, but the only person who knows how much time you have is God, right? He is the only person that can cut your lights off. You know, you understand what I'm saying? That could really take you there, that can end your time here on earth. He's the only person who can allow that to happen. So it's not on you. You understand? Like, growing is a part of life. You know, I get in early in your 20s, I did this. Early in your 20s, you want to party, you want to go out, you want to not be responsible, you know what I'm saying? Not take accountability for you or your actions here in the world, not take accountability for how you show up in the world. You want to just not even worry about it because you think you have time, and that's not the case. You know, time is ticking, right? It's time for you to get on your job. It's time for you to commit to something like your Lord and Savior. You understand? Like, committing to your God is the first step to your growth, right? You have to commit to a path. Commit to it. Like, are you going to be a youngin' forever? Do you want to be around those people? Because you see all the time, like, I hate, and it's no shade to you if you work these types of jobs, but I really dislike having older people start, like, at a position that I'm working, because I'm like, dang, when I'm your age, I want to be retired. I want to be chilling on the beach somewhere, not having to work at all. Let the youngest do all the work, because that's what we raised them for, to go ahead and work and provide for older people in their old age and stuff. Or we save up our own funds. We save up our own funds to make sure that we have a stable life in the future. But it's like, the longer you take to grow up, the longer it's going to take to reach your goals, right? The longer you take to grow up, the longer it's going to take to get that life you really want, right? All it takes is a decision, right? You just make a decision to want to evolve, to want to grow, to not attain to be young forever. Because people go through great lengths to attain this youth. We hear all these stories about people drinking blood to maintain their youthfulness, stealing children, eating babies and things like that, like all kind of crazy rituals and stuff that people think you have to do to attain this youthfulness, when all you really have to do is keep learning, keep refreshing your mind. Come in agreement with God. God is going to keep your mind fresh where you're able to take in new information. even at an older age. You ever had somebody that you're talking to that is older in age and they're super stubborn, like they don't want to hear anything that you have to say? I know I can say like a parent or something for an example, like they don't want to hear nothing. They think they know it all. They think they've learned everything that there is to learn here on earth, and they're not open, and they're not open to new knowledge, and they're not open to what you have to say and stuff like that. You have to stay away from people like that who are not trying to learn, because those people perish first. They perish first. Those people do not endure until the end, because they're not getting new information to change and adapt to what's happening in the world, because the world changes on a daily basis. You know, we woke up one day and then all of a sudden we had to wear masks and stuff. Like, that was out of the blue, but you have to kind of be prepared for changes like that. So those people who weren't used to computers, weren't used to remote work, who weren't used to doing things electronically, or weren't tech savvy, let me say, those people really struggled during the pandemic because they weren't able to maneuver the way that they normally maneuvered in the world. Even y'all know some people, like say your grandparents or something, they don't even pay bills electronically. They don't have a bank account, a card, or anything like that. Like, they're not changing with the times. But I need you to understand, you have to be current. You have to be current. You have to grow. Okay, don't be so stuck in your past endeavors. Don't be so stuck in who you used to be that you block yourself from becoming the person that you're supposed to be today. You know, a lot of us will be in different positions. And I say myself as an example, if I would have grown up sooner, like just taking life a little serious sooner, I'll be so much further along, you know. But I thought, because you were conditioned to think this, like, oh, your 20s, you party, you have fun. When really your 20s, you should be buckling down, working hard, committing to the money, you know, committing to your future, committing to success. That way you can go ahead and chill and lay back in your 30s, whereas we're kind of taught the opposite, where in our 30s, we're doing all the work. And I'm looking to build a generation where, you know, they are set up sooner. There's no reason we should not be setting the next generation up for success. You know, we cannot be young forever. I need everybody to understand that. So no, you cannot sit right here and go out and drink every night. Especially, I don't even know how y'all still doing it, but like, I'm 29. I'm trying to think like when I stopped like really going out and stuff. I want to say I was probably like 25 or 26, where I got kind of burnt out of the club, where I can't sit right here and go out and drink every night and think I could bounce back and go to work the next morning. I remember being younger in my 20s, where sometimes I wouldn't even go to work the next day. But I didn't have any responsibilities to think about then. I didn't have a kid to think about, or, you know, bills to think about for real. Like, I really was like, man, I'll handle it when I handle it. But that's an irresponsible way to think. The way that you make a change is by gaining new knowledge. The knowledge that you get when you resonate with it, it can cause you to pivot and do some things. And you could tweak some minor things that can cause a big, huge difference in your life. I want you to understand that growing up is not scary. It's not. It's exciting, because you get to become who you were always meant to be. So let the youngins have, you know, the social media, like, especially like all this flossing and stuff. When I see it at this big age, like, I'm 29 and I can't stand it already, but like at this big age, the stuff that we're posting online, like I had a homegirl send me a video of a party, and I can't get into too much detail, but she sent me a video of like girls like taking shots off each other like at a party, and I'm like, they posted this on Instagram. Like, why? Even if you're into stuff like that, which is fine, that's your business, why post it on Instagram? Like, who are you doing it for? We're still seeking attention at this big age. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. You gotta grow up. Like, somebody gotta do it. You can't be Peter Pan forever. You can't be. Like, God calls us to evolve. We have to become who we need to be in order to get people who are not in their purpose yet where they need to be as well. I had a girl recently check me on a post. She said, you know, rebuke the devil. You need to get on here and drop these messages that some of us need to hear. And I totally agree with you, sis. Thank you for checking me. I need that. You know, at the end of the day, you know, when we are not living in our purpose, when we are not doing what we are called here to do, you know, other people cannot do what they're called to do as well. As cause and effect. In order for one person to do something, somebody else has to already be in position. You hear what I'm saying? Say your friend is working a job or something like that, and you're in school and you need a job, right? But that person, if they were not in the position that they're already in, then you would not have a referral to even get a new job. Hopefully you understood that analogy and you with me, but you have to be in your position in order to help others get in theirs, okay? Just think about it like that, but I need you to grow up. Hope you got something from my message today. If you did, make sure you check out some of my other messages, and I will see you in the next video. Janique here, Janique TV. Peace.